Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here in this illustrious crowd. What I will be talking about when I was given this topic of digital upskilling and the human dimension, I mean, there's many, given my role in innovation, there's many use cases I can think of in our operations where we're using this. But I'm going to talk to you about one which is very close to my heart, which is about energy access. Energy access, with meaning bringing an electricity to those who have none today, and so this is one of the big challenges the world faces today. So ENGIE Energy Access is a construct of various startups that we have invested in and bought in the past couple of years. But they are today the leading pay-as-you-go solar home system and mini-grid providers in Africa, with operations across 9 countries. And so far bringing electricity to 1.2 million unserved customers, meaning impacting the lives of over 6 million people with new electricity. So and with green electricity, obviously. So what does this have to do with digital upskilling? I mean, apart from upskilling the customers who are paying for this electricity with their mobile phones and will never see a paper bill in their life, it is really the upskilling of the workforce that makes this possible, that makes this happen. And you can imagine that we're serving customers in rural Africa, like I said, in 9 countries over a vast area of over 1.6 million square kilometers. And really the bottom of the pyramid population in rural areas where there is no public transportation, but sometimes not even road transportation. So how do you organize for such a task? Obviously, the only way to do that is relying on a network of contractors who are locals and who can do the installations and the maintenance for you. So ENGIE Energy Access today has over 1,200 contractors who have to do these works in this rural area. So the challenge, of course, is that how do you manage 1,200 contractors? How do you manage the quality of the works? How do you manage your stocks, because you're giving these contractors your equipment, your spare parts, etc. How do you manage for quality work, customer satisfaction, but at the same time maintaining low cost because you're serving the bottom of the pyramid? And how do you have your data with regards to where your installations are, etc. So the solution to this was an application that was developed by ENGIE Energy Access, which is called Mfundi. Fundi in Swahili means technician. So it's basically sort of a marketplace or a job board for the local technicians who receive the jobs on this application, which they can then accept or reject. Then the application tracks their journey so that we can calculate how they got there, and we can reimburse them for getting to the job site. Then there's a wizard that tells them step by step what needs to get done for the job, for which they take photos for every step of the way, which is giving them data on the customer and the location, obviously through GPS, and on the quality of the job done. And so the app also, by virtue of this app, it also manages the stocks, because they take the QR codes of the various equipment that they're installing, deinstalling, handing over, etc. So at all times we have full management of the stock situation, and of course the GPS coordinates, because many of our customers don't actually have addresses per se. There's a village somewhere, and that's where they are. So what has been the impact of this app? Well, first of all, we have over 97% quality data on terms of the installations, the GPS coordinates of all of our installations, with all of the spare parts that we know where they are at. Second of all, through this, we managed to automate the calculation of the commissions and of the fees that we have to pay the technicians, which means that they get paid faster. And this, of course, helps us spread the word more, and they're much keener to work with us. Third of all, of course, it increased the quality, because first of all, because you're walking through step by step what you need to do, but second of all, because you need to take a picture and there's a remnant of that picture, you make sure that you might do a good job because somebody will be checking that. And as a virtue of that, this decreased the service time of each call by 30%, given that we're giving them directions to call the customer, make an appointment, how do you get there, etc. And it decreased the rework, so the follow-up maintenance, by 50%, which means that the job is well done, and therefore they don't have to go on site again to fix the same issue. So I would say this is definitely digital upskilling of the local technicians. And it's actually a leapfrogging more than just an upskilling. It's a leapfrogging because they manage to service these areas in better ways that some of us in the developed world know how these things are serviced. And the next step is really the follow-on of this leapfrogging. The next step is now the Uberization of this app. Given that we have managed to deliver this good quality and low-cost solutions to install our own installations, we are now offering this to other service providers who would also like to rely on this same technician base, or actually increase the technician base, obviously, in order to find somebody to install other things, not just the solar home systems or not just our installations. So this way, through this app, we are managing the continuous improvement, the continuous learning of these technicians, where they get to learn about different types of installations, they get more jobs, they get better livelihoods, and the customers get better service and they find better technicians. So this is what I wanted to share with you. And again, thank you for the invitation.